And we're back. Game number 2 of our leadoff best of 3 for the night. TongFu taking on LAI Gaming. Game 1, really a short affair. LAI Gaming just completely dominating the laning phase, carving the map up, and giving TongFu absolutely no room to breathe. Led to a sub-30-minute GG. Now in Game 2, TongFu looks to knot things up. They're going to be doing it against a rather unconventional first pick Lion, followed up by the Enchantress we saw LAI Gaming have so much success with in Game 1. Razor and Bad Rider, the answer from TongFu. Welcome in once again. Trouf, my friend, what do you make of the Lion early on?
I like it. It's kind of a substitute to Shadow Demon in the sense that you can gank with the Enchantress. It's kind of similar. Obviously, you don't have the greatest setup as Shadow Demon does, but this combination was very popular for a long period of time with the old DK team that we saw at TI4. They would run Lion Enchantress constantly. They would also run Doom a lot, just the team in general would run Doom a lot. And LAI Gaming's kind of adopted their strategy, so to speak. So I'm a big fan of Lion. It's very, very good. The only problem is that that if Razor tanks up very, very quickly and does very well in the mid lane, as most Razors do, that you have lots of targetable spells onto a Razor from Lion, which are obviously going to purge you a lot if he levels up that passive early on. So, which I imagine him to do so just because it is quite good against. I mean, Doom has two targetable spells, Enchantress has 1. Lion has pretty much all of his spells are targetable. So, yeah, I other than the Razor pick, I think Lion's very good, especially against Bat Rider. So.
Yeah, this is a good example of something you were talking about in Game 1, the change to Doom, which seems to have knocked him down a peg in terms of how popular he is with most top-tier teams. The fact that it doesn't disable passives anymore, as you had mentioned, and now against a hero like Razor, who Doom is actually not terribly bad against, actually quite good if he's able to get the Blink and the Doom off very early. Now, still good, but not quite as good, and that's even assuming before the Razor gets a BKB. But I really like the way a Bad Rider and a Razor tend to work. Razor, he's a hero who wants to get on top of someone quick. And with Bad Rider, you have the chance to pull someone right into the thick of things, make everyone from the other side either decommit, as it's going to be a lost fight, or at the very least force them to follow up into a precarious situation. And the Razor can certainly just be there with the static link on whoever he wants right in the beginning with the Bad Rider initiation. LAI Gaming follows the Doom with the Slark. Earthshaker picked up from TongFu. And we were talking about Earthshaker not long ago, how the hero has a lot of popularity with some players. I won't say so much in terms of being picked by a ton of teams, but really, I still feel like the hero's super duper strong, especially given how much impact he can have in a late game, and now with Dota 2 being a smidge more late game oriented even than before.
Yeah, I actually really like him as an offlane. I don't think we ever see this, but offlane Earthshaker is pretty damn good. Most offlaners now in the metagame just get so much more than they used to, and with the somewhat recent changes to his enchant totem just doing so much damage, you can actually be quite a force to be reckoned with if you get some decent farm on him. So probably going to be played as support here, though, as that's about what we see 99% of the time. I shouldn't say 99%. We've seen probably more mid Earthshakers and offlane, but yeah, Bat Rider's going to probably be taking that offlane role. Lycan here for TongFu, so farming Lycan perhaps, I'm not quite sure. Could be mid as well with the Razor in the safe lane. Kind of an interesting draft here from TongFu.
I think a lot of it comes down to what you anticipate coming out mid from LAI Gaming. And looking at what they have, Slark can be run mid. Lion can be run in duo mid combinations. Doom's not a terribly bad mid. And Lycan, honestly, against all 3 of those, should do okay. I mean, mid Enchantress is technically a thing. You just don't see it all that much. But I once again, it was the same in Game 1. I mean, when I look at LAI Gaming, they're going to be even more movement and gank-oriented than before. They're going to have 3 excellent heroes in the Slark, Enchantress, and Lion in terms of just making an impact in the first 15 to 20 minutes with picking off small kills here and there. But I really like TongFu's lineup. I like how they feel at all stages of the game, assuming the Bad Rider gets an early blink and assuming the Razor's on par with levels and becomes what he usually does around that phase of the game. And Lycan, of course, can punish greed out of LAI Gaming if they commit too many to go into a fight to pushing a tower. He can split push like a mother. So I like their lineup again, but it didn't make any difference in Game 1. In Game 1, as much as I liked it, LAI Gaming just seemed to be on a different plane of execution.
I actually like LAI Gaming's draft more than TongFu this time. I agree with you last time. I thought TongFu's lineup was actually pretty good last time, but the absence of protection in mid and just not dodging the ganks is what really led to their demise. But this game, the roaming potential is just as strong from Lion and Enchantress. Also, picking fourth position Lycan into, sorry, not fourth position as in like the amount of farm, but picking him fourth into an Enchantress is a little odd because normally we've seen, especially when Lycan was really popular prior to the patch, Enchantress was picked up as a counter to Lycan, just so that you couldn't really go the Necrobook. You'd have to go for something different.
Right.
And I think Necrobook is pretty much the best build on Lycan. So, yeah, obviously because Enchantress can just steal the Necrobooks and it makes all that gold that you farmed useless and turns it against you even. In fact, picking it up against the Doom is kind of questionable because he can also devour the both of the creeps. So, interesting pickup in that sense from TongFu.
Little global presence from LAI Gaming to help cope with any split-pushing aspirations the Lycan might happen to have. I actually really, really dig the Nature's Prophet pick, and I think it may, depending on what TongFu does here, I mean, obviously they still have their fifth, but just the way that the Prophet's going to work with everything their lineup is capable of. He's a late-game hero. He's going to be able to cope with Lycan in terms of defending pushes. He's going to be able to push on his own. He's also a +1 to any kind of a gank that Lion, Enchantress, and Slark want to put on. And yeah, I really dig the Prophet pick. Visage, though, is going to give TongFu some much-needed early game damage. When you look at most of their heroes, the Bat, the Razor, and so on, they do want a certain amount of early game farm before they really can come to bear, whereas Visage is going to be able to output a fair amount of damage very early on regardless. So I don't know. Like the Prophet pickup just makes so much sense. I think it might have swung me onto your side.
Yeah, they have a lot of early game aggression. And the cool thing about it, too, is it's coupled with decent late game as well. Like, Doom is never going to fall off late game just because of the potential to completely make a hero useless in the late game. So he's always going to be effective in the late game. Slark is, as we talked about so many times, deceptively strong in late game. Thought of as more of an early to mid game hero, which he is, but can contest in late game. Lion is one of the better supports to have in late game just because of his ability to lock people down constantly. And then Furion, there's no question. But at the same time, having this decent late game lineup, they're so much stronger early on than TongFu. At least I think. Unless if they do some really good stacks for Batrider and he gets up a well-timed 9-minute blink, then I think without too many losses from heroes for TongFu, then I think they'll be fine because I think Earthshaker and Visage are pretty good. Earthshaker can kind of sit behind mid if they're anticipating ganks and stop the ganks, while Visage just pulls and gets like a fast medallion into Ags. So I like that aspect of it, but I think it's going to come down to play here. I think it's a relatively even draft.
The first thing that jumps out is we see Red, who was their Invoker last game, setting up shop on the Lycan here in mid. So this does look to be a mid Lycan. They are going to have to be so vigilant in keeping an eye on Super, who's back on the Enchantress, and 5400, who played an excellent Shadow Demon last game, now on the Lion this time. They're going to be tri-laning the Slark, while the mid matchup's going to be the Prophet. I like the Prophet pickup against the Lycan just because he's so greedy, and yes, you're giving some early attention to the Lycan, or you're giving some early farm, and he should be able to do fairly okay despite Tree and Harass and despite it being range versus melee. But if they kill him once or twice with the Enchantress and the Lion roaming in, I just feel like this game could get on a bad track like it did in game one, whereas they're going to have Xiaoluv farming up the Razor in top on the side of TongFu. Kabu is going to be offlane, at least for the moment. Could be a dual offlane. We'll see if he just wants to creep block here with U9 or what. But yeah, laning phase, the way it looks right now, what do you think?
Well, laning phase, yeah, it's going to be... Oh no, he's just coming down here to block. I'd definitely give it to LAI. Like, they have good potential to kill this Batrider. If they can just catch him in any kind of stun, he's dead because he can't Firefly away from the pounce. The Hex will keep him in place for a lengthy amount of time. Remember, it is 2.5 seconds at level 1, which is a long time. And the Enchant plus 1 creep from Enchantress will definitely get an easy kill on the Bat. Mid lane is definitely won by the Furion. I'm actually surprised they didn't just go offlane Furion in like mid Doom. I think mid Doom is actually a bit underrated. He, despite having no armor early on, he's very, very tanky actually with the Scorched Earth, so he can do some damage. But they're really just fond of the offlane Doom. XTT played it quite well last time. It's what they're more used to, and maybe they just want to put a little more pressure on mid. So they could also be anticipating the Razor mid. So that's probably what it's about.
Well, we still got a pause. Looks like a little bit of ping issue with perhaps LAI Gaming. We will be moving back in. Do want to tell everyone about what's coming up this weekend. We're going to be broadcasting Saturday and Sunday, 2 more double headers. But as I understand it, I can't take it as 100% pure full gospel, but as I understand it, we will be giving, not necessarily giving away, but we're going to be knocking off a considerable amount of money from the awesome HyperX headsets that you see behind me, and from our title sponsor, of course, HyperX. Love the headsets so much. Use one at home. You have one now, Trouf,
Yep.
and we're going to be knocking off a pretty large percentage from their buying cost. So if you're in the market for a new headset, please make sure you tune in tomorrow and the next day. Well, I guess depending on where you are in the world, say about this time tomorrow night at Pacific Standard Time, and we'll have all of the details about that. We will be taking a short break after our broadcast on Sunday as we're going to make room for some of the big lands that are coming up. But after that, have you seen the updated schedule yet? We can't. It's not 100% confirmed. We're waiting on like 1 or 2 matches of the remaining to be confirmed. But have you seen it yet, Trouf?
I've seen the full schedule. I don't know what more was updated though.
Well, just a few things were moved around a little bit.
Okay.
The long of the short of it is, hope you're ready for 40 plus best of threes. I actually checked it out. This is near confirmed now. 40 plus best of threes, you and I, over a span of about 16 to 18 days.
Yeah, well, I did see the 1 week where we have, 4 best of threes a day for a week.
Yep.
Which is, oh boy, gonna have like 5 jugs of water nearby.
Monster? You mean Monster, right?
I'll kill myself if I have 5 jugs of Monster.
Have to go on dialysis after the cast.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully you guys will join us for that. We should be publishing that very soon, probably on Monday, actually, just to make sure that all of the websites and all of our viewers, of course, are up to date on that. So we'll be very, very busy looking into the middle of October on into the beginning of November. Actually, it may be, I want to say it's actually the end of October and maybe even just the first week of November. So might be a break of a couple of weeks after we do our last best of 3 cast coming up on Sunday. But yeah, it's fun watching the Eastern Division take shape. It's been a little bit of a headache back and forth for the last 72 hours or so with Newbie dropping out and everything. But I think we're pretty well stable now. What do you think, looking at the Eastern Division teams across the board? And I know you're not super familiar with a lot of the players and teams, but I mean, given the fact that there is no Newbie and there is no Vici, this seems like a very open league, one open for the taking if a team can get hot at the right time.
Yeah, I would consider LGD to be the favorites right now. But that being said, I mean, LAI has looked actually surprisingly strong. And yeah, I mean, what really struck me as surprise is the LAI gaming versus IG. Again, I talked about this at the beginning. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it because LAI looked really good. And all things considered, they should have won that pretty easily. Yeah. Game 3 was... We were calling it like at 25 minutes, and it was a ridiculous lead for LAI. They looked really freaking good. So, yeah, that surprised me a lot. LAI looked good in Game 1 of this series as well. So, I'm specifically surprised by LAI as we have more disconnects coming up from 5400.
Wow.
But I do think that, yeah, with Newbie and Vici not being in it, I would expect LGD to be the strong favorites. Or IG, but to be honest, when they played LAI, it kind of made me question them just a little bit, but yeah.
Well, they did have, it was Schwan who was playing on the Naga Siren, and that was the infamous boomerang rotation. Can I draw the? Yeah, I can draw the map right now. Basically, Schwan was playing, Schwan, actually, I've been trying to pronounce it a little bit more appropriately, was playing on a support Naga Siren in an aggressive lane, and he decided he was going to rotate like this. He walked right up here, then he went right here. Did nothing. No, he TP'd.
No, he TP'd right. Mid, walked up here,
hit a creep
kind of
one
walked
time.
Around like this, and then walked all the way back down.
Right, that's what it was. I forgot he TP'd. Like he TP'd in to help on a gank that wasn't gonna work first. Walked up here, went, hit one creep, didn't kill it. Walked up here, didn't stack, and went like this. It was
by the like way, when you do these drawings in spectator mode, does it show up as like a bunch of lines to you, or just one single line? Mine shows up as like 40 lines at once, and it looks really weird.
It's kind of odd. Like sometimes it's very spider webby. Like if I draw a circle like this size, you can see a little bit better. But yeah, like mine tend to be kind of tight lately. I don't know if they fixed it or what. Like like yours are showing up as just one line to me. Like
oh really?
Like here, like if you could see what I'm drawing now, like that's a total spider web on the mini map. So hashtag caster problems.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it must show up nice to you, but yet to me it shows up as like some weird spiral thing coming out.
Yeah.
It actually looks kind of cool if you go in a circle.
Game is literally unplayable. Thanks, Valve. Where's the caster balance patch? Where is it? Come on. Hopefully we'll have game 2. I was so hyped, man. Coming in, we've had at least one issue of one sort or another with the team being late or some miscommunication pretty much every night this week. And then this time, TongFu and LAI Gaming were in the lobby like 10 minutes early. They're like, all right, we're ready. And I'm like, what size, guys? And they actually answered me because sometimes I ask them and it takes 15 minutes for them to answer that one question.
No, their answer is go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's happened like 3 times.
Go, please.
What side?
Go, please.
What side? What pick? What side? What pick? Go.
Go. Exactly. So this time, answered immediately. Like our head admin Gianni, I was like, "All right, we're gonna go, guys." He goes, "No, you wait until the exact time because it happens so rarely." And everything was going good. We had a game 1, and now this is our life. This is what we're doing on our Friday night.
He came back for a second, and then he disconnected again.
If you weren't casting this series right now, what would you be doing, Trouf, on your Friday night?
Playing Magic the Gathering.
Would you really?
I'm such a nerd, man.
Oh, dude.
I go and like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I play a lot of it, and then sometimes I don't when I lose. Because if you know anything about Magic Online, it's freaking expensive.
Oh yeah.
So if you get in these modes where you're starting to lose a lot, then you don't want to play. But I've been winning, and then I got so many tickets. Oh, I feel so good. There's a new set out right now, so yeah.
Very nice.
I'm a giant nerd. At least I don't play D&D.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with D&D, man?
I'm kidding. If to all the D&D players.
This is no joke. I went to West Virginia University, but during the summers, I would go home to my hometown and work in radio, and I would take, fill-in classes or whatever classes I could get at the local community college just to get through my degree quicker. And there was a teacher who, well, he was a nerd, for lack of a better way to put it. He used to practice his lectures. He was a science teacher. He used to practice his lectures to his chalk, and I'm not joking. He would put chalk sit them in the desks and talk to his chalk. Very weird individual, but he somehow finagled the administration at the community college to teach a strategy and game theory class. I am not kidding. It was D&D is all it was. We showed up and played D&D, and I got an A in it. Yep, that every day showed up and played D&D in our strategy and game theory class. And those hours transferred to West Virginia University. Go me.
Nice. I don't think I had any crazy classes in university that were... What was the craziest one I had? I mean, the only crazy one I could think of was Theater 101, which was just come once a week. It was a 4-hour class.
Oh, yeah.
You showed up to once a week. Most people showed up drunk or something.
Those classes.
And you would just watch movies. And then
that's awesome.
At the end, you would have to take a test on the movie. And surprisingly, I actually got a C+ in that course.
Come on, man.
I just fell asleep. And everyone fell asleep. Although the best part about that was at the very end, they showed us the movie. I'm going to forget about it now. It's, I think it's called Noises Off. Yes. Have you seen this? Noises Off? Oh my God. It's freaking hilarious, man. So funny. I highly recommend it. It's so funny. But,
we'll touch back on that towards the end
game
of the
ready?
broadcast.
Sorry, I was all tapped.
Yeah. Oh, no. You literally didn't know it started.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. And I'm the one getting server ping. God, I love Perfect World servers. Oh, I love them. They just make me so happy. I'm going to see. Is this too bad? This is going to get bad in team fights. God, I hate it, though.
Yeah, you want to just reconnect?
I'm going to have to.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, you do the radio. Yeah, you do the radio routine. I'm going to reconnect real quick. Sorry about this, guys. Apparently, I should have reconnected while everyone else was reconnecting.
Sure, all right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to Fury on play to XZ, taking out the middle lane. He's got another 2-1 CS. Pretty good against Red here, playing the LAI can. Not too much for him, just 1-0. Not too bad either. He's got a full creep wave, actually 2 creep waves coming in his way. In the mid lane, should be fine. But here comes Kabu with Earthshaker. He's trying to do some Earthshaker things, but he can't. All right, that's all I got. And
Dateline, October 17th. LAI Gaming takes on TongFu. Go ahead.
There you are. And all right, U9. He's contesting the jungle pulse coming out from LAI Gaming, able to get a little bit for himself. But yeah, we have some early roaming coming from this Earthshaker, trying to find something, but there's an aggressive smoke coming up from this combo yet again. This time it's on the Shadow Demon. but it is a Lion, and LAI Gaming has 2 creeps for this Enchantress. They're going to go all the way top, and their Smoke Ink is going to run out soon, but yeah, this is going to actually be effective on the Visage, unless he backs up right now. He's very slow, though. Visage has 280 movement speed. He gets caught by a Hex, and he is surely dead with 2 creeps coming out, or is he? Actually, the Centaur stun was not attached or used, but no, it is going to be a kill.
Got there, got back in time to see it.
Good.
All right. Actually, sadly, I wasn't on in-game cam because I just went in as quickly as I could. Anyway, first blood. How about you hand it to LAI Gaming once again? And yeah, this is what concerns me the most. Like, their roam potential is so gigantic. They're going to be able to pressure everywhere on the map, basically at their whim.
I'm wondering if Bat can get this kill onto XDD, though. He's taking off his charges right now, and now as a result, okay, his pounce is on cooldown, so they're both kind of doing damage to each other. But, yeah, the Bats Rider's going to get some good farm here at least. Yeah, he's up to 11 and 0. And he will go back to base.
In mid, we're going to have Kabu spawning out 5400. They look like they wanted to set up a gank attempt on the Lycan, but just hanging around for the moment. And 5400 shows his face just to try to zone Red out a little bit. Red is out of mana. So these Wolves, he's going to have to put to good use for the moment. Oh, yep, Kabu. Spotted by XZ, and what? LPC now comes back in, hits him with the Grave Chillers. A beautiful fissure. Blocks off too. 5400's following it up. Hits him with the Earth Spike. Do they have the damage? They're using that Alpha Wolf to try and get the damage done. Got the Hex off through the woods. One more auto attack. Yeah, he's dead. Second time the Visage has bit the dust. 2-0 for LAI Gaming. What? I mean, it's great that they got it, but the Furion really just kind of drug ass executing the Sprout, and that would have been a lot easier. It looks like everyone will make it away safely, though, so no harm, no foul.
Ass equals drug. And, yeah, that was
like
weird.
An old dog, he's dragging ass, man.
The only possible thing I could think that was going through his mind was, he's like, if I Sprout, he's just going to eat a tree, but he didn't check the inventory because he actually didn't have any trees left. So I think he was trying to get the most auto attacks and then, like, do the block where you put the Sprout in front of him. But actually, here comes the Sprout that's onto him. A couple auto attacks, but a nice stun from 5400 able to secure that kill. So Earthshaker, now he goes down. Bounty Rune picked up by the Nature's Prophet. Here comes a Bat Rider, random Bat Rider with an empty bottle, trying to chase him. They're doing some body blocking from the Wolves, which is quite effective. Can they catch him is the question. 3 stacks of Firefly, but a nice stun.
What a beautiful 2-man Earth Spike. Kabu hits him with the fissure. They're going to end up getting a kill here. Might cost him the bat, and it does. So they end up going 1 for 1, 5400 burning in that Firefly trail, but does manage to step out before it does too much damage. And yeah, like, TongFu just seems to be struggling, man. Like, that was a kill that it was a little chancy, but it was such a good play by the Furion to bend this way instead of just going straight this way. That set up the 2-man Earth Spike that eventually made it a 1 for 1 trade because I think he was dead in any case.
Yeah, and XTT actually almost has his Midas 5 minutes in. Devours a creep right there. He's up to level 5. This is an off-lane Doom with almost boots Midas at 5 minutes. It's insane.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did get first blood plus another kill. Yeah, he's got 2 kills. So that's good, but it's so good when it's on a Doom, that especially rushes Midas, which is, I just think, the build, because no matter how much you get shut down, you're going to get more farm than anyone come 20 minutes, so... Very, very good start for him, and some over-aggression, I would say, from the Bat. I think Bat Riders shouldn't be so aggressive early on. Just take the stacks that are given to you, and which they do have stacks, and you can get an 8-minute, 9-minute blink every time with Tranquils if you know what you're doing.
When I have your mind blown, Offlane Doom is ahead of the Razor in net worth right now.
Yeah, I actually don't find that too surprising, just because of Devour plus his... He's actually gone 3 into Scorched Earth, too.
U9, spotted by Lion. There's the Earth Spike and the Hex to follow. Can the Centaur get in range? XZ is there. Doesn't wait on the Sprout this time. No tangos, and Bat's down for a second time, as one last auto attack will bring him down. However, DD on the Lycan almost allows him to blow up 5400. He'll die to the Wolves one way or the other. Got the Bounty Room before he drops. So Red rotating over. Might get caught here. Slark, beautifully timed. Got him with the pounce. And that's, you know... Coming uphill like that, he didn't see it coming, but still, he was moving mighty quick, and Slark, played by XDD, right in position, secures a kill. That's another big loss that time for TongFu.
Very nice pounce by him. It was very nice. I'm pretty sure that was like the only way he could have gone. No, here comes another Sprout. They need to get some more Tree Eaters on these team, because these Level 1 Sprouts are actually screwing them over. Kabu uses a stun, but to no avail. And he's dead yet again.
The feed is real. As right now, I mean...
I've never seen a level 1 Sprout be so effective this early on. Especially, I mean, early on, because normally you still have Tangos to work with this early on. But no, the Earthshaker hasn't had any. And he's just... A Sprout is just killing him every time. Ulti coming in from the Furion. It actually doesn't connect on the bat. And he will TP in, but walk away.
Kabu came in to help. There's the pounce. This is what I'm talking about. I was just going to talk about the positioning in the Earthshaker mid. What is Bat doing here? Like, it's like no respect at all for the kill potential that LAI Gaming has. And that's how Kabu ended up dying in mid, too. He was an Earthshaker with this much global presence. And knowing a Furion was up and ready to TP, he was standing right here and farming. Like, you can't play this way against a team that is going to punish you for it. And LAI Gaming has done just that. 8-2 at 7.5 minutes in.
I will say, at least they're out farming them as a result of all these rotations from XZ, which are effective. His CS is much lower than that of the Lycans, and Razor's is pretty high. But they also have these stacks. Yeah, Batrider should just take these stacks, and I think that's what Batrider should always do. I don't think getting aggressive early on from Bat is really worth it when you can just get 1,200 gold from one stack or something like that. So he's finally going to stack this once more time. Hopefully it's successful for his sake. I think it will be. Yeah, and this is a very nice chunk of change here coming out from the bat. This is what he should have done at like minute 3 or 4.
From the earth.
Here comes Kabu. He's got an invis. He may pop this smoke. And this is going to be probably his death, and it will be. He walks up, doesn't know. Oh, yeah, no. I thought they would suspect it. No, now hang on. Here comes LPC. They're going to go ahead and try to engage. Kabu gets off a Fissure, hit 2. Now one's going to be down. And Super and XTT trying to pursue it out. It's a 1-for-0 so far. They've got the enchant on the Kabu. There's the Dooms. XZ is there on the Prophet. One last auto attack brings him down as XTT's on a killing spree on that off-lane Doom. And now they're chasing out LPC. Can they catch him? Man. And Ja Love hanging with the Bat. Bat has lasso if he can find a target. And here comes the TP, and in the meantime, bottom tier 1 has dropped. They're going to try to follow this up. 3 stacks on the XTT. Good fissure. Sprout buys just enough time, though, to get him away from the lasso momentarily. That's a lot of damage being done to Zhao Love. They may get him, but it may cost them 1 at least. And it will! Razor's down in exchange for the Doom. Super will finally be lassoed out. So it's going to end up being slightly in their favor. But XDD coming in, trying to punish the Lycan. Unable to stand toe-to-toe with him right now, though. And, as good as that was, losing the Razor there almost nonsensically. Like, if they could have kept him alive, I feel like it would have been a much bigger win for them. Instead, the Lycan showed up late. I feel like they're giving up way too much even when they do win.
Yeah, it's they're not doing too badly. It could be worse. Like, their damage output is actually extremely high from TongFu. Like, the Visage nukes and the damage from the Lycan is really good. As a result of them rotating around, Lycan's had a little bit better time getting some CS, and he's actually the same level as the Nature's Prophet, despite Nature's Prophet being involved of 10 out of the 11 kills. He's ulting and coming top. This is going to be another dead Earthshaker. Ooh. The Pounce doesn't connect, but the Dark Pact AoE damage does. And that's all they needed. He should have a TP. Oh, you need to come up here with a TP. It might not matter, though. He's sucking out the damage. The Pounce is off the mark, but the damage from the Dark Pact gets the kill.
LPC coming in. And this is just being mismanaged by TongFu horrendously, coming in 1 at a time. LPC's dead now. There's another Sprout. XDD, honestly, he had that great pounce at bottom, but he missed 2 clutch ones there. Kabu now going to hit XZ with a fissure. Blocks him off. Can he get away? There's going to be the Earth Spike and gives him the finger as another kill secured. XZ still up and standing by some miracle. The fissure wears off, so he can retreat whenever he wants. The hell with it. He wants a tower. No one on the way. The Familiars trying to do what they can, but really they can't stand around to even to do damage to heroes this low, as they'll just be picked off. Here comes Zhao Love back into the fight, and U9 back up again. Super's going to be lassoed. They're going to be happy to give Super away for what they got out of it. And Super is in just fantastic shape, despite dying a time or 2. 11 minutes in, it's 15-6. Really active game, but most of it in favor of LAI.
Yeah, if they could do this when Lycan could split push a tower, that would be fine, but they're not getting enough out of this. Like, their Slark is just so freaking farmed. He's got a Midas early on as a result of the early kills. He will never be at a threat, really, unless he doesn't get the Dark Pact off before the Batrider lasso. That's the only way he can really die. And Doom, he's farming out of his mind, as most Dooms do. So I would say it could be worse for TongFu. I mean, it's 15-6, and it's still not that bad for them, to be quite honest. But they're going to have some more pickoffs from this map when his last is off cooldown in 40 seconds.
Oh, they're losing. They're about 5,500 gold behind right now. So they're on a pace of losing about 400 gold a minute. And I mean, I just, like, the late game, they have to get the Lycan working. They need to keep their Razor alive. Like, Zhao Love has died twice now, in both times in situations when he shouldn't have. And I just, like, I feel like they're mismanaging their fights so badly. Like, the way they're coming in, the reactions, the thought to react is good, but the way that they're doing it, they're just coming into bad situations that get immediately worse.
Yep, and this is the Blade Mail build here coming up from XZ, so it's trickled down on from Europe all the way down to China. And let's see, it's actually not too bad here. It's good against Razor. It's good against them all, actually, until they get some BKBs. It's very good against the Bat Rider, actually. So, not the biggest fan of this build most of the time, but it is quite effective here. So, I like it. He's 5-1 and 9, 14 out of 15 of the kills this Furon has been involved in.
And now just taking farm. He's right there with XDD. Looks like they want to put a push on the tower. In the meantime, they're drawing enough attention to mid to force everyone from TongFu to respect it. Red is in position, now with the Vlads up as well, to split push this bottom tower. But they're not in a position where they can really make trades like that, I don't think. Like, the Lycan, depending on how they want to build him, like you said, up, hang on in mid, super lassoed out and brought down again. Yep. So, Kabu, ooh, caught from behind. And brought down. Actually, it was a creep that finished him off. Now 5,400 could end up giving his body. LPC's in trouble. Got doomed. XDT able to stay alive because of Scorched Earth. Let's see if they want to pursue. No. So they end up going 2 for 2. But the problem is, I don't know. It was 2 supports for 2 supports. Down at bottom, though, Red caught by XDD. And XZ there to help finish it off. That was an even trade. That's a horrendously lopsided trade now with him getting caught trying to push that bottom tier 1.
That's a perfect example of where the nerfs are coming in. Where before, the old Lycan, you would not only have to have an instant ulti, but you would also get the 300 HP or whatever it is.
Yep.
He easily lives there if it was the old Lycan. So, yeah, nice gank there from XTD. These pounces have been on the mark every single time, it seems like.
He missed a couple at top that were kind of goofy. Other than those 2, though.
Well, he's hit some ones that really mattered, especially against the Lycan, who has ridiculous amounts of move speed. XZ coming in here. And again, he's just been a part of almost every kill. DD on XDD, as it looks like they're probably just going to backdoor this tower.
Glyph deployed, and I don't know if they can fight right now. Zhao Love is pretty horrendously underfarmed as well. Yeah, he's less farmed than the Lycan, and the Lycan is less farmed than the Bad Rider, we'll put it that way. And that Bad has struggled a bit. He's been a part of some kills. His rotations have been pretty solid. But still, 18-8, and the tower is beginning to evaporate. There's not a single tier 1 standing now for TongFu. And every tower remains standing at this moment, at least, for LAI Gaming.
Yeah, they pretty much have to fight around the Bat Lasso. And with a little bit of a longer cooldown now at 90 seconds, and it has a lot of mana. Oh, they find it, though.
Red, there to help secure the kill. Easy peasy. U9. Finishing that off. This tower at bottom should be dead as well, and will be. No, glyphed at the last second. Not that it's going to matter, just buying time, I suppose.
Yep, you can afford to do those glyphs now because it just resets every single time, so.
Exactly. How do you feel about that? How do you like that change?
I don't like it.
You really don't?
I don't know why. I can't even tell you why. I just think it's annoying. I think it's because of the times where I'm like, yo, their glyph is down. Push, like, they wasted their glyph. Go keep pushing. But I'm like, wait, what the hell? Why is there another glyph?
Yep.
It's because of that. It's that confused moment where I'm like, what the hell?
I think I'd like it a lot better if it only happened the first time you lost the tier 1. I don't like that every tier 1 resets it. Like,
sure.
that gets a little... It gets a little laborious, basically. Like, it becomes very mechanical. Like, if you have a good lead early, the way you push tier 1s from that point becomes very mechanical because there's literally no reason to not wait for everything to be up and not to push, take a tower, sit and farm their jungle, then fall back and look to push again. There's just no reason not to.
It is a little bit excessive, I agree. And remember how I talked about how the only way that Slark can die if he doesn't use the Dark Pact is the lasso? Well, he has a Lincoln Sphere now at 16 minutes in, on top of the Midas, so he is pretty much immune to absolutely everything. Now the only way he can die is a Blink Dagger from Earthshaker, but with 1,300 net worth, I don't think that's going to come out anytime soon.
Yeah, he's hurting a smidge. Lycan is going the book build. Has picked up his Belt of Strength and his Staff of Wizardry. Yep.
That is very odd to me.
Yeah,
There's
I was thinking the same
very
thing.
good ways to counter that from LAI Gaming.
Well, what do you, if you're lying, you see that. I mean, what's the plan to do what you just said, just to make sure it feels a lot less effective than it would normally?
Is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Book, I'm just going to take over it every single time and use it against him. Lion, on the other hand, the hero is actually dying quite a lot as we...
Red doomed out. Kabu in trouble. XTT is there to help clean up. There's the blink from Bat to get him back away. Actually hit a bit of a lag spike there. I lost you, and the game seemed to have froze. But we are back, and another win for LAI Gaming as they continue their death charge down mid. U9 used his lasso, so not going to have it to draw upon now. Red heading back towards bottom lane. Nope, now he's turned around. In the jungle, Jalouv spotted out. Let's see if they can catch him. No doom or anything from XTT, so he's going to be able to just run away. But we've got 5 now from LAI here in mid.
Ulti.
And Red just, used his ulti.
Huh.
Yeah, that's just like, okay.
Maybe trying to find an opening, but not even close to anything, so... Interesting ult right there. It's going to be an Orchids after the Blade Mail for the Furion, which is... I mean, I think it's always good in most every game, unless it's a game where you know that you're not going to have it before, like a core like a Mantis coming out. But that doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I don't think BKB is going to come out to that soon. Actually, Razor, he's actually very close to his, so... but he's probably going to be looking to Orchids, the Bat Rider, the Lycan before he ultis, so it's always fine. I like this pickup from Bat, by the way. He's got a 4-staff and now has a gem. I think that's definitely a key into coming back in this game. Is just get rid of the map control from LAI, make it a little bit more difficult to farm with no vision. They're a bit more scared if they have no vision from Bat ultis. So a nice pickup there from U9.
Blink Dagger up on Lion gives them even more initiation potential. More importantly, perhaps, gives him the chance to take the Bat initiation out of the equation, at least until he gets a BKB up. Just being, if you're quick enough and you see a Blink Lasso 4-staff, you can blink very quickly towards your teammate and hex that Bat Rider and kind of turn things around. But he's going to have to be fast. Speaking of fast, Red. No ult. Oh, he did get the ulti off, but he's eating a lot of damage. Not enough there. He may have jumped the gun there. The Centaur was there from Super to try to help out. In the meantime, I just heard a lasso. I didn't even hear where it was.
It's bottom.
Down at bottom. I thought I heard it in mid. They do get the return kill on the 5,400, though.
5,400 is all about the donations to TongFu.
XDD misses on another pounce, but the reaction is coming from TongFu, and that's going to be enough to force everyone else back out. Doom's up if he wants it, as is Shadow Dance. But yeah, looks like TongFu ready to push this tier 1 again. They got a little chip damage done on it, but they do have they have pretty decent push power.
I'm interested why Doom isn't going for the BKB first. I think it's an easy solution to pretty much everything from TongFu. The only thing that, I mean, he's going to take damage from Razor and the Lycan, but I don't think their damage output is really too physical right now. Razor's not going for a fast Ags, and Lycan is going for more of a split push build. So I think BKB is really good on Doom because if he eats the creeps, he still takes damage from the red creep. But obviously, if he's BKB, it doesn't do that damage. So, I'm curious that he's not going for the BKB. He wants the Ags because, like you mentioned, it kind of seems like you have to go for Ags now. But I think he should have gone for BKB first, in my personal opinion.
U9 has an invis, looking towards mid. Wants to find a pick here in mid. We'll cross right in front of the tower. On into the jungle, and this is going to be bad for XZ. He's going to be spotted, and there's the lasso. 4-staff brings it back towards the team. Necro creeps are there. Easy peasy. So nice pick there, utilizing that invis room. They're going to get this tower too. Here you go, TongFu. This is what they've been needing. Just get things, just reset, stabilize. Don't give up anything you don't have to.
Yep, nice kill on them. They could possibly Roshan if they get rid of this annoying Slark down bottom, so never mind, they can't. They have to worry about this bottom lane. But now would be a better time to do it. Yeah, they are going to do it because the Furion's dead for a long time. And he can't join the fight. They know they're top, so... And they also have a medallion on the Visage, so... This is going to die super fast. They're slowly getting back in this game.
And I would imagine LAI knows it's happening. Yeah, they have to. They actually have a ward down that should have seen them coming by and into the pit. So giving it up and trying to trade the tier 2 top for it. There's going to be a reaction in time, though. They don't have a glyph. They will very soon. Red's going to be doomed as soon as he lands. And he got baited. Now here comes the rest of the team, though. Force Staff gets Red back to safety. And, yeah, looks like they don't want to fight. They really need their profit.
Oh, Kabu.
For this to happen. Oh, there you go. The Enchant Totem is there. Shadow Dance going to allow him to escape. Oh, no! Oh, beautiful, beautiful Dark Pact in anticipation of that. And gets him out of the lasso as he scurries to safety. Wonderful heads-up play from him.
Yeah, it was good at the end, but not so good at the beginning. I think he used his Dark Pact way too early when he went on the Earthshaker. What you want to do is save it for when you see the animation coming out, because he actually would have got himself out of 2 different stuns pretty much at the same time. So it was a good play at the end, but questionable at the start.
Ooh, U9 gone in a hurry, and that's a gem.
And a streak.
They just pinged it out. Yep, and 5400 takes it. XDD's hooked back up with him. Red is very low and has to just go home. Yeah, he has no chance to come into the fight in his current condition, and his ult's going to be expired if they decide to try to contest the tier 2 here. XZ back up, has his Orchid in tow, and ready to go to town. Might even get enough. There we go. I was going to say, get this familiars back. They deploy the glyph on the tier 2, and not going to do much of anything except buy them some time, maybe to defend mid. And that's where they're going to anticipate the push is going to come next. That tower sitting at just 900 HP.
Yep, and Super did steal that red creep there to help him, or to help aid him with the top push. So it's very curious and interesting to me that they still picked Lycan into this. And not only that, but they still went the standard Lycan build against heroes that are very good against those minions. So it's actually hurting them more than helping them. I don't think they're going to get too much split pushing done if that was his original intent too, just because of the global presence from Furion.
Smoke out of TongFu. 5400 actually had eyes on Lycan, and given how aggressive he's played this game, I actually think it's pretty either impressive or just somebody in his ear saying to stop going. He threw the ward right here, and Lycan was right about there. And could have blinked up and hexed, but the rest of Lycan's team was heading that way via smoke, so a good choice by him to not engage and commit at least 1 or 2 from his own team from engaging. 20-12 in a 24-minute game, and still all LAI gaming all the time, coming up on 10K overall net worth lead. It's about 5,000 experience. TongFu, if you're their captain, other than don't give up free towers anymore, what do you think is the best path for them to get back into things and draw this to even?
It's just basically fight around the Batrider ulti. That's their only initiation right now. That's actually their only initiation ever. Until, like Earthshaker is never going to get a blink. Oh, this LPC is going to feed off a free one.
Deadskis. I'm actually surprised he doomed him instead of the Bat. Now the Bat dragging XTT back. Zhao Love showing off that BKB.
Oh,
Damage
nice
is
flame
there.
break.
It really was. Well placed from U9 that time, but there's a Sprout that's immediately gone. Blade Mail deployed on XZ. Here comes XDD rushing up. There's a nice fissure. Ka2. Kabu, very low, still going to engage. Here comes 5400, though. 3-man Earth Spike. Now they can reset. Kabu has to run. Zhao Love doesn't have his BKB anymore. And his Eye of the Storm still cleaning things up. Super trying to tank through this. Here comes XDD back in. Super's going to end up dropping, but XDD gets the kill on the Razor and should get Kabu. Maybe. Familiar's doing the job. He manages the Dark Pack through that. Will go ahead and leap to the low ground. And has to try to TP away. No, Flame Break. Knocks him out. He feeds himself. He feeds the gem. And that's a 5-man wipe in favor of this TongFu squad, who seems to have finally woken up and is playing much better Dota here in Game 2. They don't get it all back at once, but they get back a chunk.
Yeah, I think Slark should spend his gold. Maybe he wants to buy a Scotty altogether, but he was sitting around 4,500 right before that. And that was a very awkward TP in there by Nature's Prophet. He actually accomplished nothing. Didn't ult, just used a Blade Mail on part of a Bat Firefly and then just died. I don't know what that was about. And you mentioned the questionable Doom targeting, which was a little bit interesting to me too. So just a very sloppy engagement, and you can't be sloppy against the Lycan Lycan and a Batrider. You just can't do it. And then the Eye of the Storm, that was without Ags. And did you see how much damage it does? It's very potent. It did get recently nerfed a tiny little bit, but still showing you there that it wasn't enough as far as giving people a reason not to pick Razor anymore. I mean, it just does so much damage.
Radiant's top tower is under
Tier 1 gone in a flash.
Radiant's
As
top tower has
I
fallen.
love this new approach of TongFu. Don't feed. Like, that's really what they needed to stop. They were just feeding deaths in game 1 and early on here in game 2. This time around, not the case. In fact, it's LAI who's a little questionable in the way they're playing. But they're being punished for it. And like you said, like it was why you would doom a Visage instead of a bad rider in that situation just beyond me. I mean, think how different that fight is. If XTT dooms the bat, they'd probably kill the Visage anyway because he's not doing super great. And then the bat has to run away and can't re-engage, can't lasso XTT. He's in the fight longer and so on.
Yeah, not to mention too, it's like I feel like dooming a Visage when you have Axe is like it's a waste because he died in like 3 seconds anyway. So what does the extra duration really do? It doesn't matter unless it's on a hero like Lycan or the Razor. Those are the targets you want to. If he's going to be doing a Visage like that and just still being aggressive afterwards, I don't know why he didn't get a BKB. Because once he jumps in and dooms, if the rest of his team's not jumping in with him and just creating chaos to keep the other heroes off of him, he just dies. So he definitely needs a BKB after this. Speaking of BKB, Slark does spend his gold finally and is a fresh BKB. I don't wonder why he didn't buy it earlier, but he does have it now. So
Smoke in the mid. Red's the target. Let's see. Smoke's going to be popped. And they do catch him. Hex is there. There's going to be the Doom as well as the ulti. Zhao Love. Oh, wow. He latched on to XTT, but was stopped by the Centaur. Good play there from the Enchantress. XTD chasing them back behind their tier 2. He's going to end up feeding here because the bat's going to spin the lasso if he can get eyes on. Oh! Ooh, did make it back to the low ground. So I thought the bat would be quick with the flame break. Not so much the case. There's the Lincoln's popped and unable to catch him. So another missed opportunity that time from LAI Gaming, I would say.
They're like really trying hard to force this. And I think they're just jumping in the gun a bit. They need to take this a little bit slower and find better targets or at least jump in when people are ready. But yeah, I mean, that Doom unfortunately wasted again. Didn't really do too much. And Slark, despite his great farm, he's got this BKB. He has all these defensive items, but his damage output is actually not very impressive, unless it's a very, very long and drawn-out team fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, XDD's kind of been all over the place. We've seen some good pounces. We've seen some bad ones. We've seen him make good decisions. We've seen him make bad ones. Like, I just feel like he's kind of all over the place in his play, and it's costing his team pretty dearly, given that he is by far the most farmed, not just on his team, but on the map as a whole. And Bad Rider finds himself another kill somewhere. That was the Prophet that he found in the jungle, surprisingly. So, TongFu, if you look at the graphs, man, they've gotten down to just about 3,000 gold and nil experience. They have fought their way back into this, and they are looking to be in really nice shape if they can get one or two more big kills.
Yeah, and they got the Axe on Razor, which I think is huge. We saw also that fight when Eye of the Storm was popped. It was popped around this area, which was the secret shop. And those are the best engagements for Razor because there's no creeps around. And that's when you really get the full effectiveness out of your ult just for the negative armor and just ticking heroes down. When you're in the midst of like a creep wave or around neutrals, it becomes a little bit annoying because it just latched on there. Nice finger death there for 100.
It's a drive-by.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was lag or what on my screen. There literally was no animation. He just kept running by, and the laser flew out of him and blew his face off.
Structures are fortified.
Nice, but yeah, good pickup kill there. As Earthshaker is still quite a ways from his blink, as he's basically like the sole support since Visage is trying to get that Ags, which he will have in 150 gold. Oh, we should have waited to summon. Oh, that was kind of a misplay. He's so close to his Ags, and he just summoned new familiars. He definitely should have waited.
Well, LAI Gaming has to really reset and get back on track. I mean, make no mistake, they're still in the lead. They're still in good shape. I like, if XDD can get some damage up, looks like he's going Basher. Yeah, just finished it, so that's going to assist him at least a little bit. But I don't know, like, it's so easy to see the momentum. Like, TongFu just basically hit LAI in the gut and knocked the wind out of him. But I think it only takes one big fight for them to get back on track. And so I hope TongFu remains vigilant. It doesn't really get too far, doesn't convince themselves that they're actually in the lead in a good, in a big way, a way that can't be thrown away with just 1 or 2 bad engagements.
And he's going for Shivas on the Doom. I question his item pickups this game. I think he really needs a BKB. I don't think they do much to him if he has a BKB. Like his damage is okay. It's nothing spectacular because again he's going for the more standard build. He's not going for like tons of damage, and he doesn't have it just yet.
XDD hit with the fissure. Has his Lincoln's popped.
Ulti.
And
yep.
oh, he missed it. Yeah, he had time to lasso there. His reaction on getting the lasso off just wasn't as good as XDD on using Shadow Dance. Ew, that is such a big missed opportunity. He stood next to him for what had to be a full half a second. Had to have been.
I don't know if he was actually in range. I think he was just a little bit far.
Yeah.
And you want to be careful in instances like that because if you cast it right when he dark packs like we saw before, it's completely a wasted team fight. So you have to make sure when you blink in, it's like instantly. Otherwise, you have to second guess yourself a little bit. Treants are going to spot this Roshan, but I don't think this is going to be prevented as the damage with the medallion is just so high. Yeah, this is going to go down in favor of TongFu.
TongFu once again takes a Roshan, and they had to give up a tier 2 for it, so they have 1 remaining. I don't feel like LAI Gaming's is in a position where they can high ground reliably at all. Like, I actually feel like now with that Roshan, there is still 1 tower they can clean out, but given how well they're doing with... And, I mean, just look at the towers on the side of LAI. Like, they've actually drawn it to where they were even in towers until just this second. So, actually, I like TongFu's chances. I just really hope they don't end up making a big mistake. Like, if they lose a Razor or a Lycan for no reason, like we saw them do a little bit in the early game, I feel like it could cost them dearly. So long as they just play smart, they're going to be fine.
If they get a nice lengthy static link up on the Razor, and if they're fighting away from creeps, I think he's just going to completely dominate the team fights. Because I'm expecting Batrider to just take a hero out instantly. I don't think that LAI Gaming has many answers to the Batrider lasso, unless it's countering it with the Lincolns. Like, if he can pop the Lincolns up onto someone right before he lassos them, then that's a good play, and then they could take the fight. But again, with a Razor, if he has free reign and has a full static link, I think he's just going to own in these team fights.
Gotta quit calling him LAI. I catch myself doing it constantly, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know why. Usually I'm not too bad about correcting.
We're creatures of habit, man. If you get caught stuck into one thing, it's really hard to shake it.
I'll just start calling him LG.
There you go.
LG, much easier. Anyway,
LG
we have a game on our hands.
VG Gaming, EG Gaming.
Good game agency.
Yes.
A little different. But yeah. But here's the thing, like, just as we're talking about all this and how TongFu has all this potential, they take a Roshan, but they once again find themselves 7,500 gold behind. And, you know, it's like, I don't know, TongFu they're doing the right thing here. What are they going to end up giving up, though? There's going to be a TP in from the Prophet over towards red. Looks like he thought better of it, so pulling back. This is going to be a for sure tier 2.
Yep, and with the 3 birds up instead of 2, doing a lot more extra damage onto these buildings. I think LAI Gaming just... Oh god, now you have me doing it! Shit. I think LAI Gaming just wants to wait out this Aegis before they take an engagement. Also, XDD after this tower is probably going to buy a Sacred Relic. He should purchase it. He's debating. Yep, he has it. And actually, Unite, the Batrider gets taken out. I didn't see this, but Doom gets a solo kill with the ulti. That's very big.
Yeah,
Batrider actually has no buyback. He just bought Boots of Travel recipe.
Oh, wow. That's actually huge. They've got creeps here if they want to try to fight it out. The Prophet is shoving out top lane, but he can be there in a blink. He's picked up a Shadow Blade, too, by the way. So, going with this ganker-oriented Prophet build.
That's weird.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Batrider keeps buying gems. They actually lost the gem to Lion, and Visage just buys a new one right away for the bat. So they really want that gem up. Yeah, that's a very strange build.
Where'd they get that? They got it over near the secret shop.
With the Visage birds?
Yeah, they got it right on top of the secret shop. Right near the Radiant secret shop. In the meantime, though, we've got XDD. Tracked down, Shadow Dance buys him some time, and he will be able to blink away, so that mobility once again getting him out of trouble. But TongFu's responding fairly well. As much as they can anyway, and they bought plenty enough time for that bat to get back up, so they dodged a little bit of a bullet here. Feel like LAI could have maybe gotten a little bit more accomplished.
Shiva's up now on the side of TongFu, which is good against Slark, slowing him down and just giving you some extra vision in fights. I think that aspect of Shiva is very underrated. Just the amount of vision it provides you is very effective. If XTT is pinged out, nope, he gets force-stepped out by 5400. And 5400, speaking of, is in some trouble.
Oh, the pounce. Not going to work on a BKB target. XDD tried to bail him out. 5400 ends up dropping, though, and now they all have to run. XDD using his own BKB and Dark Pack to make sure he stays safe. But TongFu once again taking a win, and slowly but surely, every time, it looks like LAI might be getting to a point that can close things out. TongFu just gives him a nice little jab in the chin to remind them there's still a fight going on.
They have no answer to this this bat lasso. I actually was going to say before, one of their two answers were an immediate doom afterwards, which it still isn't really an answer, or a pounce. But now with the BKB, as you saw, that was his intention. But yeah, can't do it once he's got the BKB on a bat. So they just have absolutely no answer to this Bat Rider. He's just completely dictating these fights.
Jalov using that Eye of the Storm on the tower. Look at him melt between that, the Visage Birds, etc. And I feel like we may be seeing the first glimpses of a Game 3, my friend. Like you said, no answer to the bat. Razor is feeling large and in charge. XDD, because of his build, even with the Abyssal, just doesn't feel all that lethal. And the Prophet, I mean, at this point, if TongFu just 5-mans or at least sticks in big groups, the Prophet with this ganker, pure ganker-oriented build is just not going to feel all that effective either.
And I don't know why he chooses a Shadow Blade over a Blink. I just think Blink is so much more effective. I'm just waiting. Like, it seems like the momentum is swinging in favor of TongFu, but I still feel like this fight is going to come out where Doom actually will do something and will blink in and Doom an effective hero like the Bat or the Razor, and then they just win the fight. I'm just
XDT in trouble.
Speaking of Doom,
farming under a ward, tough going.
He has the gem too, and he has no BKB. Look, he's just dead.
Yep, gone. Lion in the meantime got a kill on the Visage. Here comes the Prophet back in, and he may end up just feeding here as the damage is plenty high enough. No blink.
Oh,
Brock
nice
down.
Shadow Blade rocked.
Yep, and XDD, even he's having trouble getting into the fight and getting a kill. Finally does. He's going to have to leave the gym behind. He may die, though. Even with the BKB, Eye of the Storm's just doing so much damage. He rounds the bend, but he will be able to make it back. Thought they might try to pursue him. 5,400. Giving Super a little boost, but that's a 2 for 2. That could have been much worse. They got the Visage right at the beginning, just as XTT was dying, and then they got the Bat. But still, losing your Prophet and your Doom, not really worth it.
I feel like this Doom's item build is really hurting his team. He didn't even get off the Doom in that fight, and it actually still ended up going a 2 for 2, which is, all things considered, I think, well, definitely a win for TongFu if you look at the heroes that died, but it could have been much worse if Slark wasn't able to get that extra bit of damage onto the Bat. He almost didn't get it because the negative attack speed aura from Shiva's was actually doing some work there, and then slowing him down with it too. And nice kill there from XDD. Earthshaker, easy pickings for him at the very least, but this Doom needs to get off these ultis, and he really needs a BKB.
Oh wow. He's going to go ahead and pursue on Najal Love. He forces the BKB out, uses the Abyssal. Slow to get on top of him, though, because of unstable current. And he's able to make it away. Let's see if they can get some birds here. One comes in, doing some damage. There's the Enchantress. They're just going to try to run him away. They end up dropping down, and they're going to clean the creeps up. I want to see if they're able to get one or two, though. Visage should have the resummon if he needs it, and he does, but still a nice little amount of gold for them to get. And nope, going to be able to run away unless XDD catches him anyway.
Furion is Shadow Bladed up. The gem is still up on it. This is what this item is just almost hurting him more than helping him as he feeds off another one. He had such a great early game, was a part of almost every single kill for the first 20 minutes, but is just feeding at this point and is giving so much net worth back over to TongFu.
Yeah. I mean, he was playing so well, but I mean, TongFu's just playing it right. They're not really splitting up. They're not putting themselves in positions where they could be 1 or 2 man ganked. And in fact, they're keeping the pressure up. BKB finally on that Doom. And definitely agree. Feel like this is a little late in the coming.
I mean, at the very least, it's good that he has it still late somewhat, because he's going to have full 10 seconds right now, which is more effective later than it is earlier. But, oh my god, that tower is melting.
LOL.
And Slark is nowhere nearby.
Nice racks, bro. Wish you had a spare.
Lord, that just some of the fastest racking I've ever seen.
Yep. How do you get caught in that position? The Slark nowhere, didn't have a TP. You have no glyph against this. Just look at this mess. Here we go. There's going to be the Doom onto the Zhao Love. And the follow-up is there. XDD with that BKB going on to Kabu. Kabu gets off the Echo Slam. Doesn't matter. BKB's a plenty on both sides. Red in the meantime. Right on XTT, and he's in trouble. As the bat will be caught by XDD. Thought he was going to go back in to try to chase him down. Instead, he's going to be hit with the finger from behind. XTT trying to pursue out. Zhao Love is going to end up dead. As the Scepter duration kind of redonk. And this is what we were talking about, man. They end up giving away racks just through poor forethought. However, they take 4 of 5. And they're going to push down. What's the buyback status on these heroes? Let me see.
Only Razor.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
They might lose 2 sets of racks here, man. Because they're going to have the profit split pushing top.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, I feel like that fight could have happened way before, like a long time ago. They're going to get aggressive on the Lycan, too, who does not have buyback if he dies, I'm quite sure.
Oh, no.
Oh, he does. Barely.
He does? Okay.
Barely.
That's a little different.
If he wants to use it, and he does.
Yeah, still, it hurts so much. They lose 1 set of racks for free. Buyback on the Lycan. Bat's still down for 20. I don't think they're going to chance it.
Well, they haven't lost racks just yet, actually. They put damage onto these towers, but they only took out the tier 3 top. Haven't taken it out mid, so if they are able to repel this when Bat Rider comes up.
Oh, XDD whiffed. He jumped at 4 and whiffed on everyone. Now he's going to be caught from behind. They do manage to get another tier 3. XZ in the meantime being shoot upon. They are unable to track him down. They manage to get the Visage down, though. Red going toe-to-toe with XTT. XDD hitting him as well. Now using the Shadow Dance. Zhao Love back up. XTT is going to end up dropping, and XDD has to run. Using the Dark Pact as BKB expires. I don't think it's going to matter. They're going to get him. And he does, buys himself a little more time. Oh, no. The blink, a matter of milliseconds, it was off cooldown. Did not blink quickly enough before the plasma field caught him and put it on CD. But that was a little weird. Look at this. All the racks are still standing. You're right. I thought whenever they abandoned mid, they had already brought down this ranged racks, and they hadn't.
I don't know why they went for the kill on Lycan. Like all he did was buy back and then and fought them afterwards. If they could have either done 2 things: just everyone push 1 lane, or just not go for that Lycan when Furon was split pushing top.
DD back up on red. Roshan could be his very quickly. Everyone from LAI Gaming is there. There's going to be the ulti deployed, and he comes in, and he's going to be caught from behind. Lincoln's going to be popped, but he did get the Shadow Dance off. He's basically by himself, though. XZ isolated out. Here comes 5400 as well to try to help out. His BKB is going to wear off soon. He does make it to the high ground beforehand, though. XTT trying to chase down the Razor and secures the kill. And now it's Lycan's beautiful Earth Spike from 5400. Caught him from behind, brought him down. No buyback available, and Roshan plus little bit of the dairy going to LAI Gaming this time as Cheese will drop. And they may finally be able to reliably high ground and take those racks. XC actually got eyes on Kabu. Got him with the Sprout. Here comes LPC to try to help. And he has to use the Blade now, but look at the damage. XCD's going to come in, misses with the pounce again, shorted it. Kabu using that Fissure. 5400, not quick enough on the trigger to stop the blink away from the Earthshaker. So action everywhere, but the product is your 2 cores are down. And they're down for the count. No buyback on anyone except for that Enchantress. This is for sure 2 racks, and this could be GG.
Yeah, I was waiting for this. I feel like the Slark in these long drawn-out team fights with 1 hero having Doom on them makes them useless. And Slark is just so hard to take down that once he finally gets some damage, and he was hitting for like 440 that fight because of this Doom aura as well, which is very effective. And also the Doom, the late BKB, while better safe, or finally he had it, I just think he needed it much earlier in this fight. And this game could have been ended at like the 25-minute mark, but...
Lasso catches 5400. Not the best target, I don't think. He drops the gem, but your racks have been melted, and there's Megas. And wow, he actually got LPC from the back. That's Mega creeps out. He's going to get the Visage for free. Valiant effort from TongFu, but it seems their chances for comeback have hit the skids. They may get XDD here. Very possible. Yep, they're going to make him pop his Aegis. There's a Doom on a Zhao Love, XTT, right behind him. But as the Slark comes back up, Pretty sure we're going to see. Yeah, Red's actually going to pursue this out. There's going to be a Sprout. XZ isolated from the rest of his team. They're not done yet. They're going to go for at least one desperation push, which is exactly what they're going to need to do. There's no way they can leave their base with a Nature's Prophet on the board, so they got to go right now. Yep, they're just going to call it.
So it is going to be 2-0 for LAI Gaming. XDD couldn't get his blink there because he gave it to the Lion. He's actually holding his blink, but he's dead. He can't pick it up now. But yeah, that game should have ended like 25 minutes ago. It seems that LAI Gaming has amazing starts in every game I've seen them play so far than you've seen them play. They have an amazing mid game where they farm extremely well. Like the Slark was ridiculously farmed. And they get kind of shaky in the late game. We saw it against IG. We saw it against, right now, against TongFu, who is, unfortunately to say, one of the weaker teams in this tournament right now. So they're a fantastic team. Good showing in the mid game, early in mid game. If they can just kind of fix these problems that they've been having in the late game, then they'll be a very scary team for the duration of this tournament.
No, I completely agree with you. We see them, they kind of remind me of, and this is going way back to like D2L Season 4. They remind me in some ways of that Vici Gaming back then. Like, this is back before Vici obviously sitting atop the Chinese scene in most minds right now. This is back when Vici was considered to be an up-and-comer and so on, and they had this same problem. Like, their management of the early game, of the laning phase, was impeccable. It was superb. And it seemed like every game basically went the same way. They either won in less than 30 minutes or they lost in more than 40. Like, it was almost always with that 10-minute, 30 to 40 window being where it could go either way. And that's kind of what LAI Gaming reminds me of right now. I like their drafting. I feel like they're compositionally, they're working very well, but their decision-making and some individual issues need to be shored up. But nonetheless, they improve now. Their record in D2L with a win, 2-0 over TongFu. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast, guys. I'm your host, Aaron A.C. Chambers. That voice on the other side, his name is Trout. He's giving you the insight and analysis. Make sure you check him out on Twitter. It's TRALFDOTA. You can find me. I'm at AC, at AYESEE, and it's ACTV, AYESEE-TV on Facebook and YouTube. Most of the time, though, I'm right here on D2L, so make sure you hit follow. And we want to have you back for all of our D2L action, not just now, but in the future as well. This is our 5th season. And a real pleasure to be bringing you all of our Eastern Divisional action throughout this week. Looking ahead to our next series trial, it's going to be CDEC taking on LGD. You had said earlier you consider LGD to be one of the favorites, if not the favorite, in all of the Eastern Division. Break that down for me. Tell me why.
Well, I'd say definitely now that Newbie and Vici are not in it. Well, Vici, of course, wasn't in it before, but the Newbie dropping out, I would favor LGD. I think they've had a roster that's been around long enough and they've just got the top players on their team. MMY is it's like one of my favorite supports in the world. He's just so good on so many different heroes and quirky heroes too, like Tuskar, which he's played very, very well. CDEC, they didn't look too good to me, honestly, in the last time I saw them.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see what they can pull out. But I expect an easy 2-0 for LGD. We'll see.
We will see indeed. It's going to be about 50 minutes from now. LGD taking on CDEC. And just to clear up any confusion before it occurs, CDEC is still playing and using the LGD tag as their logo and everything. That's with permission from LGD. But if I'm not mistaken, they're actually not affiliated with LGD anymore. So we should be referring to them primarily as CDEC. So when you see that, if you're going to say CDEC, that's why. How about y'all go chill out for 50 minutes or so? Go play a game of Dota or something. Go full push strat and see how much you hate that the towers are so hard to bring down because the freaking glyph refreshes after every tier 1. Do whatever. Just make sure you're back here in 50 minutes.